Racing to the 2021 Kentucky Derby continues, and this time it's the first of the 100-point preps. A win and you're in for the Kentucky Derby starting gate. We go to the Swamp, the Fairgrounds, $1 million. A rematch for the third time between the Lecomte and Risen Star horses. We've got Proxy along with Mandaloun and Midnight Bourbon, and interestingly enough, it was Midnight Bourbon going wire to wire in the Lecomte Stakes. Then it was a little bit of a different pace type scenario in the Risen Star. Mandaloun came from just off the pace, and Proxy and Midnight Bourbon rounded out that. We also get Right and Just back from the Risen Star. He set the pace to that day. We also get a shipper from Santa Anita in Hot Rod Charlie. Now, the interesting thing about this race is with those three horses, pace dynamics definitely will play a flow. Probably some slow fractions as they go 1 mile and 3/16. I'm not a big fan of this distance change. I think it's asking these horses to go too far early on in mid-March and then try to come back. I know they get the 6-7 weeks off, but I just think it dulls their speed. And we saw last year Wells Bayou got injured after winning this race and never even made the Kentucky Derby. The pace scenario is kind of similar to the last time, but it could be a little bit slower. Right and Just, who had the 11th post position the last time, he now draws inside in that second post position. Meanwhile, Star in My Dreams draws the rail in an 8-horse field. Proxy gets blinkers this time, retains the jockey John Velasquez, and the last time out he laid further back off the pace, then made his move going into the turn, and for a brief moment you kind of thought that he might be able to get Mandaloun, and he just kind of faded lately. I do think the blinkers are going to help. The key thing there is they're going to have to be careful when they whip him. He kind of tends to shy away from the whip, so it'll be an interesting race scenario on that one. Midnight Bourbon by Tisnow, definitely bred to get better as he gets a little bit older. The last time out, he had a really good gallop of the three out, and I think he's a type of horse that's more of a grinder, and at a longer distance he could be a more effective with his tactical speed. Mandaloun is more of that physical specimen. He looked really good as a 2-year-old. First race out, he was a little bit flat this year in the Lecomte Stakes, but he was wide in that race. Last time out, he drew the first over trip on the speed, and he was right on Midnight Bourbon when Midnight Bourbon had to track Right and Just. I think Midnight Bourbon wants to try to separate himself this time and make Mandaloun try to run him down from behind. Proxy's probably going to tuck in and make a move down the stretch. Now, Hot Rod Charlie, he had some intrigue in this race. Shipson from Santa Anita was involved in that 3-horse duel all the way around the track with Medina Spirit and Roman Centurion. Roman Centurion came back and got kind of dusted in the last race in the San Felipe to Life is Good, but that was a 107 Beyer speed figure in that race. Hot Rod Charlie got trounced. I think he can run better here, and he's another one that may be more forwardly placed. And, that's really the main contenders. I do want to talk about Run Classic. He broke his maiden last time out, had a strong gallop out. I really like the way this horse moves. I think at 12-1 in the morning line, he has a little bit of a shot in this race. Now, this is race 14 on a 14-day-long marathon card at the Fairgrounds. So it'll be the final race. They'll run it right after the Fairgrounds Oaks. So I think the key to the race is going to be the fractions. My selection is going to be Midnight Bourbon. I like the way he galloped out the last time. I think he kind of got the worst of the trip of the 3 big contenders that have been running against one another. I think he continues to work out well in the morning. I think this time he's going to lay a little bit further back off Right and Just. I think he's going to try to separate coming into the stretch and get the jump on Mandaloun and Proxy and try to hold them off. And it'll be interesting to see if Midnight Bourbon can do that. If I had to take a second selection, that would be Run Classic. I think the odds will be right. I think he's improving at the right time, and I think he really wants all of the distance here of 1 mile and 3/16 in this Louisiana Derby. 100 points to the winner. We've already got a couple of horses in the starting gate. Wagering with 50 points. We've got Life is Good with 60 points. We saw the winner of the Rebel Stakes Concert Tour, now 3 for 3. And these 3 horses are inching their way up, but definitely the top 2 in this race will probably make the Kentucky Derby starting gate. Who do you like in the Louisiana Derby? Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Remember, the more videos we do, we'll get more subscribers, and we'll also be doing a Fairgrounds Oaks preview later on this week. Look back yesterday, we've also got the future book up that recaps the Rebel Yell from this week as we get you ready for the 2021 Kentucky Derby.